Hello everybody, my name's James. I'm an outreach facilitator for the Humber Outreach Programme, and today I'm presenting to you another hop short, this time revision techniques. So the session's going to cover three main areas. So the different types of revision techniques and the associated learning styles. We're then going to look at where you might like to revise, where you might like to study, so the different environments, and we're going to finish up with some top tips before I conclude. Now, before we can introduce revision techniques, it's really important to identify our preferred learning style. Now, that's not to say that other learning styles might not be of use to you, but that your preferred learning style will probably contain revision techniques that you find valuable and will help you as you revise or as you study. Now, there are three main types of learning styles. So there are visual learners, those who learn best by sight; auditory learners, those who learn best by hearing; and there are also kinesthetic learners, those who learn best by movement. Now, to identify your learning style, please go to the YouTube video and work your way through until you find your preferred learning style. So, what kind of learning style we use? Well, let's start with visual learners. So if you're a visual learner, you're likely to enjoy watching this video. So you'll like to watch YouTube videos perhaps to learn. Maybe you like making spider diagrams or mind maps or colour coding. The key thing here is you like lots of colour, and you're going to remember best in an exam situation by remembering that colour that you saw when you were revising. So if you came out as an auditory learner, then you learn best by hearing. So that could involve things like group discussion or collaboration over the internet during the coronavirus, of course, or it could involve listening to podcasts. So there's GCSE Pod, where you can access lots of podcasts to do with different subjects. It could also mean just listening to audiobooks or just talking concepts through with your family or friends. The final type of learning style is kinesthetic. So if you selected this, then you learn best by movement. Now, you're in good company there, because that actually used to be my preferred type of learning style. So to revise for my GCSEs, A-levels too, I used to record myself talking about a certain topic and then walk around my room saying it out loud to myself, and that's how I learned best. So you could follow that same strategy, or you could do a whole host of things that just involve movement. We've covered different learning styles and their associated techniques. So that was how to revise. So where should we revise? Now, it goes without saying that at the moment, you're probably going to be limited to two different places. So it's either the home environment, or perhaps you have access to a garden, so outside too. But imagine these are normal times and you have a choice of places to revise in. So where should you go? Well, let's start with the library. An obvious place to study, an obvious place to revise. Very quiet, but of course that doesn't suit everybody. Some people need to talk whilst learning, so you might benefit more so from study spaces. Now, sometimes these will be set up by your school or college. They'll often be designated areas within your institution where you can go and study and perhaps have a greater ability to talk to your friends and communicate and collaborate over the work that you're completing. Then there's the home environment, so where most of you will be studying or revising currently. Now, this has the benefit of being very convenient, very easy. You can get started straight away when you wake up in the morning. But if you're not careful, you might lose that distinction between the home, so the living environment, and the study environment. So the best solution to this is to set up a study area within your home. So perhaps that might be a singular room, perhaps that might be an area of your bedroom, whatever works best for you, but make sure there's some distinction. Then there's outside, so associated with the home as well. So you might have a garden. It can be fantastic to go outside in the sun, benefit from that vitamin D, and study in that way. But of course you are open to the elements, so wind and other distractions too. And then there's the cafe. So I quite like studying in cafes. I do it from time to time. You do have instant access to caffeine, so coffee, which can be very beneficial as a student, as I'm sure many of you know. But of course it's a very noisy environment, and there will be lots of distractions. We've covered how you should revise and where you should revise. So the final thing left for me to do is introduce you to my top tips. So the first one is make sure that you choose the revision techniques that suit you. You should have done the YouTube VAT quiz earlier and identified your preferred type of learning style, and hopefully from that you've managed to choose some techniques, or a selection of techniques, not just sticking to one, that you can revise with and use in the future. And following on from that, it's really important to make sure that you don't just revise the subjects or study the subjects that you like the most, because of course where we're going to earn the most marks, where we're going to make the most progress is by studying subjects that we're not so good at, and we can use those techniques to make sure that we get better at them. So I hope you've enjoyed that really quick introduction to revision techniques. Now, we covered how you should revise, where you should revise, and also went through some top tips at the end there too. Now, if you do find yourself using any of the ideas I presented in this short session, then please post on social media and tag us using the social media links here provided. Thank you very much.